Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Friday, February 20th. I'm Andrew Gagan. The local market is set to open lower this morning, having hit an intraday record yesterday. ASX futures down around 0.5%. Locally, among the companies with earnings results, Rio Tinto has posted its weakest result in 6 years, with net profit for the full year falling 14% to just shy of $10 billion. And insurer QBE's full year net profit rose 20% to $2.16 billion. Well, investors turned risk averse overnight amid building US-Iran tensions, which saw the US dollar rise and equity markets fall. And mixed US economic data did little to boost investor confidence on Wall Street, with the majors finishing in the red. Nvidia initially fell, but then recaptured some of those losses late in the session. Apple also lower, weighing mostly on the S&P 500. Shares in software provider EPAM Systems plunged as its cautious first quarter outlook disappointed investors. And amid growing concerns about the credit quality of private equity companies and their exposure to software stocks, private equity companies slid after Blue Owl Capital's decision to sell $1.4 billion in assets and freeze redemptions at one of its funds to manage debt and return capital. Walmart dipped after the new chief executive kicked off his tenure with a conservative 2027 forecast, as well as a $30 billion buyback plan. Shares in Deere & Co jumped after the farm machinery maker raised its annual profit forecast and beat first quarter results. And Omnicom shares surged after the ad giant beat analyst estimates for fourth quarter revenue, while Carvana fell heavily after the online used car retailer missed fourth quarter profit estimates. Well, the US trade deficit widened sharply in December amid a surge in imports despite President Trump's tariffs on foreign manufactured merchandise. The trade gap increased by almost 33% to more than $70 billion, with the goods trade gap widening 2% to $1.24 trillion, the highest on record. Meanwhile, FOMC member Neil Kashkari has said while monetary policy settings are close to neutral, the recent investment in AI may be driving up the neutral rate, saying we've shrunk our balance sheet quite a bit in the last few years. I'm not sure that we can shrink it much further from here without making some other fundamental changes to the way the financial system operates. US Treasury yields held near the lower end of their recent range, while the Treasury Department sold $9 billion in 30-year inflation-linked debt to strong demand. The two-year yield was at 3.46%, the 10-year at 4.07%. The Australian three-year government bond yield fell to 4.31%. The US dollar is up on the day, the Aussie currently trading at 70.6 US cents. Oil prices have risen to their highest level in 6 months as tensions between the United States and Iran escalate. Brent crude futures up 2% at $71.50 a barrel. Gold prices steady despite the rising geopolitical risks. Spot gold trading at around $5,000 an ounce. And copper fell 1%. Iron ore down to $95 a ton. And Bitcoin is currently trading just under $67,000. Among those companies reporting today, Guzman & Gomez, Latitude, Mineral Resources, Megaport, Cube, Telix, Newmont, Digico Infrastructure REIT, Polynovo and Cobram Estate Olives. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again on Monday.